Hi Gemini, how are you doing? So I'm going to be doing a reading from the 1st of March to the 7th. We're going to be looking at the juju that's going on and general messages. Also be looking at some kind of astrological placements in your chart. So for example, negative and positive moons and influences of other planets. So this is just a general reading as well. So if it doesn't resonate, that's totally fine. Maybe watch another video that does or watch your rising sign. So let's find out. The moon in reverse. Justice in reverse. Got Queen of Cups in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse, a lot of reversals. We've got the Hierophant in reverse and the Emperor. The Lovers. It's really weird because like astrologically it's looking quite good for singles, people who are single, who are interested in marriage, you know, who are wanting to find somebody that settles down with them a little bit more in that sense of commitment. Okay, Nine of Wands in reverse. Interesting. I like to link that with that Moon in reverse card, so we're kind of getting messages through. Also, if you are interested in love, I shall put a love card to find out, because we have got that Lovers card. So it kind of gives us a bit more context about what's going on there. If I get the wedding card, I'll be like, oh, I knew it. Playfulness in reverse. Okay, so this sense of wanting to be more flirtatious, you know, there's a lack of, chemistry with something. So, when the week starts off, because there's a negative moon influence, it's going to be a little bit like, oh, we're feeling not as great. This Queen of Cups in reverse is interesting as well, because that to me is like people who aren't as nice to you as they could be. This could be you bullying yourself, you know, almost feeling like the self-care isn't there. You could also be struggling to communicate with somebody in your life, particularly friends, and close friends of that as well. And it's very careful about how you choose your wording, okay, because sometimes it can come across as a little bit like, you know. But also Knight of Swords in reverse as well, feeling fearful of something, you know, anxious, you know, feeling anxious about, maybe feeling anxious because somebody hasn't been as nice to you. You know, when you get in an argument with somebody and you just feel a bit anxious and you're like, oh, that's made me feel really unsettled. There's a sense of feeling unsettled at the start of the week, and almost feeling like things aren't going your way, okay? And I think that comes through quite strongly. And you know, this Justice in reverse card as well, it's like somebody has done an injustice to you. So again, you might be struggling to communicate with somebody. You know, somebody leaves you a bit anxious because they've said some quite cruel words to you. I suppose in that kind of element, to conclude that and to find a solution is to just remember that people really are only expressing who they are to you. It's not a reflection of you. I know people say everyone is you pushed out in some way, but I don't think we can control that in every aspect of our life. And so if somebody has, you know, said some, you know, quite harsh words to you, it's really thinking about why did they say that to me and what can I take from that, really, rather than acting straight on emotions and getting upset straight away. But the middle of the week is great because we have a positive moon influence and Jupiter influence as well. So feeling like we can take on the world a bit more. This Jupiter influence is really kind of characterized by this Emperor card, which is kind of being more managerial. And we've got this Hierophant in reverse as well. When these two cards are together, this suggests to me that you are wanting to stand out from society more. Okay, you are wanting to make your mark more. You are wanting to step out of kind of what I call ancestral chains. You know, you want to be the person in your family that makes the money. You don't want to be in family business. You don't want to always be stuck in the same kind of cycle. You want to step out of that. And so you might be taking more of a responsibility, especially when it comes to being busy, and you know your schedule might start to kind of chuck up a little bit next week and you're thinking, blimey, it's back to back this week, and that's really that Hierophant in reverse is because you're trying to take on more responsibility to prove who you are. But also the Hierophant in reverse when it comes to love is interesting because that suggests to me that we are wanting to do love a bit different, okay? So it's not like just because you have your relationship that way doesn't mean my relationship has to be like that. It's actually the way I want it to be, okay? Yeah, and this Nine of Wands in reverse and this Moon card in reverse, they're kind of very similar messages, okay? So upright, like this, they're really about deception, false hopes, people trying to give you an illusion of some kind. To have these in reverse is like, you don't really have to have anxiety or worry about people trying to deceive you, because their intentions are quite pure. Their intentions are not to give you false hopes. Actually, that's the opposite of what they want. They don't want to give you that. And so if we link this to the Lovers card and we're talking about love, this is a really good sign. So this is, somebody who's not going to do you wrong, perhaps because they've also been in the wrong before. But it's something that you don't have to feel too much anxiety about. So if there's a situation with a romantic partner that you're feeling worried about, this is a good sign, okay? There's a positive mood towards the end of the week for you. So you're feeling much more energetic when it comes to wanting to work through things. And again, at the start of the week, I talked about, having harsh words with somebody, okay? And sometimes that can be like, I'm always having these issues with people. This is just going to be resolved with ease, really. And this Lovers card, it's good. This could also, because whenever I get the Lovers card, it always makes me think of third parties. I don't know why it just does. And it's normally always correct as well. And when I link that to the moon, it's always about, this person has only really got eyes for you, okay? And so you can kind of trust that they do. You don't have to be thinking of it with every chippy in a white dress. They're going out for everything. It's more about actually they've got eyes for you. No. The eyes, they're there for you, okay? And then we've also got playfulness in reverse, okay? So being more flirtatious, maybe you have a tendency to be a bit more serious with things, and, or this could also be saying, maybe it's time to get more mature. It's time to get more mature about your love life and understand things. I mentioned that single people would find some kind of element of weddings. And then I said, we really could have got the wedding card. But then I got playfulness in reverse, which gives that idea of like more seriousness and commitment. So kind of what I was saying, that is coming through quite strongly too. So overall, that's what's going on for this week. I hope that makes sense. Generally, I don't think it's a bad week at all. I think when this week starts from March the 1st, you might be feeling like, but towards the middle of the week, we get that positive influence and it makes us feel much more revitalized. So if you did like that and it resonated, please like and comment. And I hope you have an amazing week and I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.